until it changes up here, ain't nothing gonna work. And conversely, when it does change up here, almost anything will work because
Anything you do, right?
it's gonna happen.
So what are some of the things, that you found that have been most helpful in your practice in helping people to do things like get off their diabetes medication or lower their cholesterol, or you know what I'm saying? What are some of those things that you found in your practice that have been really helpful in those areas?
Yeah, so it starts with the conversation, right? And like you said, genetics, you know, there's Harvard studies out there that show that only 10 to 20% of our genetics play a role in the expression
Hmm.
of any disease that we have, right? So that
Hmm.
means that 80 to 90% of it is on us. So when you talk about that responsibility, it has to start there. That ownership has to start there. So I think it all starts with being willing to have those uncomfortable conversations.
Yeah.
I'm surprised when you say what are the things that work. I think that's just being straightforward and letting the patient know nothing is going to change if this don't change, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
I'm surprised at how many patients say that their doctors don't have those conversations with them, which to me is a form of malpractice because
Yes,
that's
absolutely.
one of our main responsibilities, you know. But as far as actionable items, right? So you know, diet and nutrition is at the forefront of what we do in our office. We use weight loss programs, lifestyle programs like Thin. We implement exercise with that. My wife and I, we do a monthly fitness challenge, just to encourage people to get up and move, right?
Hmm.
So those are things that we do. When it comes to, you say, getting off diabetic medication, lowering their cholesterol, we've had patients go through our 6 week lifestyle and nutrition program and say, man, I lowered my A1C in 6 weeks. Like,
Yeah.
think about that, man. Like,
Yeah.
you'll be on these medications for years, 10,
Yeah.
15 years. And you talk about somebody doing a 6 week program that is only putting their body in a caloric deficit and forcing them to eat nutrient dense foods. We haven't
Hmm.
even added in exercise yet. And people saying my
Right.
A1C
Right.
is coming down. So controlling what we put in our mouth and knowing that, like you said, is going to turn on and off these genes, right? I don't think that enough
Hmm.
people are aware that what we put in our mouth, how much we move our body, and how we decide to control our stress actually turns our genes on and off, right?
Hmm.
So there's a medical doctor
Yeah.
named Dr. Michael Greger. I listen to a lot of his stuff. He wrote a book called How Not to Die. And a lot of his stuff is centered towards like plant-based eating, which I'm a big fan of. But he
Hmm.
has a quote, and I want to give him credit for this. I don't want to make it seem like I made it up. But he said that genetics may load the gun, but your lifestyle is what pulls the trigger.
I like that.
And when patients realize that, I think that's one of the biggest things that their willingness to actually go about the change starts to take place because there's a million ways to do it. There's a million programs that could do it. But until it changes up here, ain't nothing gonna work. And conversely, when it does change up here, almost anything will work because
Anything you do, right?
it's gonna happen,
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's it, man. I get that question a lot. Like, so what should I do? Or what do you do? Or what do
Yeah.
you recommend?
Okay.
And I always tell people that's not the most challenging part, right? It's what it is I'm about to tell you. Have you decided that you're gonna do it every day?
That's it.
Because you can Google what it is I'm about to tell you. But have you made a decision, right, that you're gonna do it every day?
Yeah.
Until you've made that decision, what I say doesn't matter.